I am Somo Sundar Patro, and today I am here to give a brief description on the topic embryology of arch of aorta. So I would like to describe this thing on the board. I will start with the development of heart tube. Our heart tube looks like this. These are derived from the mesodermal cell. To be more specific, these are derived from the cardiogenic area of the embryo. After some time, fusion starts in this heart tube at the center. This fusion progresses craniocaudally. As a result of this, our heart tube starts to look like this. After this, another stage will come in which our heart tube will look somewhat like this. The upper side of the heart tube is the arterial end, and the lower side of the heart tube is the venous end. As my topic is confined till only the arch of aorta, I will not be focusing on all these parts. Rather, I will be focusing on this part only, which is the truncus arteriosus. Now let's take a look at the folded embryo. This is our neural tube. This is the pre-laryngeal part of the foregut. And since this is the cardiogenic area, so our heart tube will be present in somewhat this position. From the truncus arteriosus of the heart tube, a pair of dorsal aorta arises. These dorsal aorta are present on the dorsal side of the embryo. During 4th to 5th week of the embryonic development, 6 pair of pharyngeal arches develop in the pre-laryngeal part of the foregut. These pharyngeal arches have their own cranial nerve supply and blood supply. The blood supply of the pharyngeal arches comprises of 6 pairs of arch arteries. This is our truncus arteriosus. These are the pair of dorsal aorta. These are the 6 pair of arch arteries which are respectively 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Now without wasting any time, let's come to the development of arch of aorta. So the arch of aorta basically develops from this part. before moving to this, I would like to include one more thing. From this part of the left dorsal aorta, there is development of the seventh cervical intersegmental artery. So the arch of aorta development is basically contributed by three things, which are the left aortic sinus, the left fourth arch artery, and the part of the left dorsal aorta, starting from the part of the ductus caroticus till the level of the seventh intersegmental artery. So, as we know that the arch of aorta has three usual branches, which are right brachiocephalic trunk, left common carotid, and left subclavian. So, the seventh intersegmental artery of the left side will give rise to our future left-sided subclavian artery. The left common carotid artery will arise from this part, which will have the further branches, which are external and internal carotid arteries. And the third is our brachiocephalic trunk, which will arise from this part. The brachiocephalic trunk of the right side will have two more branches. This is the subclavian artery of the right side. This is the common carotid artery of the right side, which will have two branches, which are internal carotid and external carotid respectively. Now let's move to another interesting thing. During this time, lung buds develop at this position. So there will be development of the pulmonary artery. We know that joining the pulmonary artery and this aorta will be our ductus arteriosus. This is another pulmonary artery. So what happens is that a pair of recurrent laryngeal nerves develop on both sides, which start hooking from the like this. Same thing happens on this side also. But as we know that this part is not persistent throughout, it will regress gradually. So the recurrent laryngeal nerve on the right side is present at a higher level. With this, I would like to conclude my speech, and I would the fifth arch also regresses, or either it is not formed in the first place. So with this, I would like to conclude my speech, and I would like